Everybody. My name is Ali W. I'm from Your Inspirations. So happy to be here with Tamara from Movie Blog, and we have a great last minute holiday project for you. So today we will be working on the easy gifting crochet bottle bag. So really fun project for you all tonight. If you have any questions throughout the class, please feel free to ask them in the chat, and I will help get all those questions over to Tamara.
Right. Okay, thank you so much, Allie. So as she said, we're making this easy crochet gifting bag. The actual pattern, if you need to look it up, if you're watching this later, is the Bernat Crochet Beverage Bag. And we can see that again right here. You can see this is a great oversized sort of wine or champagne or liquor bottle or kombucha, whatever you want to put in there. I think this one is actually really fun. You could also just fill it with snacks. You know, if you've got somebody who maybe doesn't want a bottle of something, you could definitely fill this up with some really fun bags of homemade snacks and treats for this time of year or any time of the year. That's another great thing, of course, about this pattern. It is gift giving season, but gifts need to be given all year round. So this is a great one. Now this one uses, let me double check here, 100 yards of Bernat Blanket. So a full size skein of Bernat Blanket has 220 yards. So you should be able to get 2 of these bags out of one skein. If you wanted to use the OGO Bernat Blanket, you could do that as well, but you'd have to do a little bit of color blocking because you would need to use 2 of the colors to make one bag. So this is the dark teal shown in the pattern. I think it looks a little bit darker in person than it does in the pictures, but that happens a lot with teals. So you can obviously use the same color or any color you want. Definitely mix it up. Go through your Bernat Blanket stash and make a whole stripey one. It's just a really fun, simple pattern. While this isn't a learn how to crochet class, this is a great beginner pattern. We're pretty much just using chains and single crochets. So let's go ahead and I'll come over to my hand camera here and we'll talk a little bit more about the supplies that we need. So a little upside down, but there it is. We've got that Bernat Blanket, of course. Like I say, we'll be using just under half a skein of that. And then, of course, you need your standard crochet supplies. Scissors, a yarn needle, some stitch markers. You'll want the crochet style that do open up, sort of like a safety pin. And for this pattern, we're using a USK, which is a 6.5 millimeter crochet hook. You can see this one, if it wants to focus there, is by Susan Bates. So this is a smaller hook than we normally use with Bernat Blanket. That's going to give us a really nice, firm, solid fabric without a lot of gaps or holes. And it's also going to help make it a little bit stronger to hold that full-size gift. So with that said, let's go ahead and break open our pretty skein here of the dark teal. Now with Bernat Blanket, I always like to pull it from the outside. You know, it's wound that way, so I prefer to pull it from the outside. It doesn't fit, of course, in your standard yarn bowl, but I have a small bucket that I like to keep next to me, just like a clean sort of plastic bucket that I drop it into when I'm crocheting a lot with it, and that helps keep it nice and clean. So to begin this pattern, let me move the pattern over here a little bit better so I can see it as well. We are going to start with a chain of 2. So after you've found that end of your yarn, we're going to come in a good 6 to 8 inches or so, and we're going to make a slip knot. So we'll just fold our yarn over, bring that bit behind, and make a slip knot. However you like to do it. Different people do it different ways. They kind of hold their fingers different ways. You can do it down on the table. You can do it in your hands. But we want to get a slip knot on the hook. I'm going to adjust that for size here. We want to be crocheting, like I say, sort of tight stitches, but we don't want to make it a struggle either. So make sure you've got enough room there for your hook. Then we begin this pattern with a chain of 2. 1 and 2. Now we are going to work 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. This color is actually a little bit dark there, isn't it? It's showing up a little dark for me. Is that dark for you too, Allie?
It's a little bit dark.
A little bit.
Let
me grab a little different color here. I'm going to pull up some yarn. I'm going to try this one. I think this one's going to show up a lot better on camera. I love the dark teal in person, but I think it's just showing up a little too dark. But I need to pull some up so I can finish the bag I started last night with this one. Well, through the magic of TV, we will actually see this whole entire bag. But let me cut off some length there, and we'll start again with this color. Looks so much brighter in person. All righty. So this one is sort of a pretty coral color, another great choice. And I think we'll be able to see a lot better with this one. So again, I'm going to come in a good 6 to 8 inches or so and make my slip knot. There we are. I always like to have the tail end of when I make my slip knot facing me, I feel like it just makes the stitches lay a little better, but I think different people, maybe when they make their slip knots a little differently, find that to be different. So you can go ahead and give it a try and see if it makes a difference to turn that around for you. So let's try that chain of 2 again. My slip knot's a little tight, so I'm gonna open it up. And there we go. Now we've chained 2, and those are a whole lot easier to see right there. It is a fuzzy yarn, so it's hard to see the specific details of the stitches, but that's okay. We're going to just go right in that very first chain we made and make those 6 single crochets. So when we're working 6 single crochets to start working in the round, but we're working into a chain like this, a lot of times I'll just go right between those top 2 loops and just kind of under the one loop and then work my way around, but you can go into whatever part of that chain you like. That said, as soon as we make that first single crochet for every round of this pattern, we want to grab one of those stitch markers. Let me get one that's a little brighter and easier to see here. There we go. There's a red one, a lot easier to see. So if we put a stitch marker in the front or in the first stitch of each round of this pattern, we'll have a lot easier time keeping track of where we are in the pattern, because we are going to be working in spirals rather than in regular rounds. So if you haven't done that before, I'll be showing you how to do that here in just a moment. But for now, we need to continue making those single crochets. So we've got our first one right here. We need to put 5 more right in this first chain we made. So there's 1, 2. So that would be a total of 3, 1, 2, 3. Since I know that's half of them, I'll go ahead and come to the other side of that first chain, pull that tail over to the other side there, and just start working right into the other side right here. 1, 2, and 3 more. So we should have a total of 6 single crochets. There we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, I mentioned we're going to be working in a spiral. That is one of the big differences here from working in rounds. If you've worked in rounds before, we're not going to join with a slip stitch. So when we don't join with a slip stitch, we also don't need to have any turning chains. Although in this case, it would be more of just a chain up, right? The chain 1 before a round of single crochet. We are going to be skipping that. That means that we're not going to have that little telltale jog up to the next row. That's why that stitch marker is so vitally important. If you don't keep that first stitch marker when you're working in the spiral, it is so easy to lose track of where on earth you are in each round. So it's just a great big time saver to have that stitch marker right there. So this is what it looks like at the end of round 1. You don't need a stitch marker for every round. We'll take this out and move it up every time we've got a new first stitch of the round, but it is going to save you a lot of heartache later. So before I continue on with round 2 here, are there any questions I can answer?
I don't think so.
Okay, great. So for round 2, we're going to be working 2 single crochets in each stitch around. Now, again, you'll notice we have not joined with a slip stitch and we don't need to chain 1. We just go straight in. Get that a little closer there. We just go straight into that very first stitch we made and make a single crochet. So you can see it's almost like a nautilus shell where it's going to keep building up in that spiral. So we want to take our time and keep moving that stitch marker right on up to the new first stitch of each round. There we go. So that's 1, and then we need to put a second one in there. And that's what we're going to do with each stitch of round 2. We're going to work 2 single crochets into each single crochet of the previous round. So we've got 2 in there. So we come right to the next one and insert our hook and put 2 single crochets in that stitch. Now, one thing I've noticed when I work with this size of hook and this yarn, it really, really, really wants to cup up or bowl, however you want to think of it. It wants to not lay flat, even though we're working enough stitches to make this sort of perfect circle. I think, as far as I can tell, in my experience, this is from the fuzziness of the yarn. It really wants to keep my loops short. So one of the things I've started doing when I'm working with this yarn in the round is I make sure to pull that last loop up just a little bit extra before I begin the next stitch. So now I'll go into the next stitch, go ahead and pull up my loop. I'm going to go ahead and leave that one a little tighter. I'm not going to pull it up as much, but then I'll yarn over and pull through and then lift up just a little bit more on that loop. What that's going to do is make the top two loops of each stitch just a little bit longer than the loop that you've pulled up here underneath the stitch. So that should help you stretch out around that curve just a little bit more. Another thing you can do, and I like to do, is I just sort of hand block them. I'll sort of give a little tug, and that really seems to help as well. So I've got to put one more in there for 2 in that stitch. And then I'll just continue on around, putting 2 single crochets in each of those stitches. So you can tell sometimes I forget to do the little extra lift, but I try to do it on most of them. It is a wonderful yarn. It's going to fill in all those gaps and create this really beautiful solid fabric we want. But like I say, sometimes that means just putting in a little extra effort. So now I know, because of this stitch marker, that I've worked into all of the stitches of the previous round. Without that stitch marker, you can see how I would be able to just keep going. I would never know. We'd end up just going around and around and around. But now I know I'm at the end of this round because that stitch marker is right there. So this is a good place if you want to go ahead and stop and weave in your end. As we make the big tall bag, it'll be more and more difficult to get back in there. So it's always a good idea to weave in your ends before you get too far. But after that, you're ready for round 3. So this is what it looks like at the end of round 2. So for round 3, we actually have a repeat. So if you are a beginner crocheter, that means we start with an asterisk, and that tells us that we are going to be doing this over and over again, the same series of stitches. It reads 2 single crochet in the next stitch, 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Repeat from that around. So it'll be 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around. Before we were 2, 2, 2, 2 stitches in each stitch. For this one, we want 2 stitches in one stitch, 1 in the next, 2, 1 all the way around. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to again go right in that first stitch. And because it is the first stitch of this round, we want to move up that stitch marker. This is why I love having this particular style of stitch markers a lot. The, what do you call it? The safety pin style rather than the broken ring. I think these are a lot easier to move around a lot, and they are just so handy to use to help you keep your stitches straight. So we've got 1 single crochet in the first stitch. We'll put another single crochet in that one. And then we just put 1 in the one after that. So 2, then 1. Then we do that again. 1 and 2 in the next stitch. Then 1 in the stitch after that. 2 in the next stitch. 1 and 2. And 1 in the stitch after that. It really wants to cup up on me today, so I'm just going to take some time and pull my stitches out a little bit. There we go. Look at that, nice and flat. So continue doing our repeat all the way around. 1 and 2 in the next stitch, and 1 in the stitch after that. 2 in the next stitch, and 1 in the stitch after that. 2 in the next stitch, and 1 in the stitch after that. And I know that I did my repeats correctly, or at least I'm a lot more likely to have done my repeats correctly because I have finished that repeat and we are at our stitch marker. So now, remember we started with 6 stitches, then we put 2 stitches in each stitch, that took us to 12. Now we put 2 stitches in every other stitch, that takes us to 18. So as we are increasing here through round 6, we're just going to be adding 6 stitches per round. So that is the end of round 3. Let's go ahead and jump on to round 4. Round 4, we're going to continue making those increases, as I say, and we're going to stick to sort of the same pattern. So if you haven't made a flat circle before, or what would be a flat circle in most yarns, this is sort of the basic formula right here. For round 4, we start with 2 single crochets in the first stitch. So I'll make that first one and move that stitch marker right on up. And then another single crochet in the same stitch. That is our increase, 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then we're going to work a single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches. 1 in the next stitch, and 1 in the stitch after that. So in the previous round, we had 2, then 1, 2, then 1. Now we're going to have 2 in a stitch, then 1, then 1. So 2, 1, 1. That is our repeat for this round. We're just taking the time to pull up some more yarn there. There we go. So let's do that again. We've got 2, 1, 1. You can sort of count out our stitches now when we look at them. 1, 2, 1, and 1. So we know we need to start that repeat over again. 2 single crochets in the next stitch. 1 in the next stitch. And 1 in the stitch after that. Then we begin the repeat again. 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, 1 and 2. And we start our repeat again, just going all the way around. 2, 1, 1. 2, 1 and 2. And 1 and 1. We can see here, we've got 3 stitches left, so we know we're doing it right because we get 2 in the next stitch and then 1 in each of the stitches. Oop, after that. Got to keep the hook in there though. There we go. All right, so now our circle, or I should say our spiral, has gotten a bit bigger. You can see here how it's worked our way right up to that stitch marker again, and it's getting quite a bit bigger. Now, this is a really great basic pattern for customization as well. We're going to keep increasing through round 6, but if you needed a narrower bag, you could stop whenever you've got sort of the diameter or the circumference that you desire, or you can keep working in pattern to keep adding more rounds using the sort of the same pattern that we see developing here. It is just a really great one for customization. So then we're ready for round 5 because we have now finished round 4 with a total of 24 single crochets. So if you guys have any questions as we're going on this about flat circles or this particular pattern, keep trying to say pattern today, that's not even a word, patterned, then definitely let us know in the chat. I will be happy to answer those as they come in here. So like I say, we're ready for round 5. We've just got 2 more rounds of increases. So again, if you're new to flat circles, let's think this one through for a little bit. Round 3, we had 2, then 1, 2, then 1, 2, then 1. Round 4, we had 2, then 1, then 1, 2, 1, 1. Round 5, the pattern is going to be 2, 1, 1, 1. We're just increasing the number of stitches in between those increases so that we can stretch them out and still just have 6 increases per round. So let's begin round 5 together. Again, we're going to start with 2 single crochets in the first stitch. So we'll move that stitch marker right on up. There we go. A second stitch in the same stitch. And then a single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 1, and 1. Basic, perfect circle increases. Start that repeat again. Oop. My yarn wanted to tangle on me. There we go. So now we start our repeat again. 2, 1 and 2, and then 1 and 1 and 1. Just give that a little hand blocking there to flatten out a little bit. Do it again. 2, then 1, then 1, then 1. So since we are increasing by 6 stitches each round, that means we'll have 6 increases or 6 repeats of this repeat. 2, 1, 1, 1, we'll do that a total of 6 times. So hopefully that'll start giving you, some ideas of how sort of the math of crochet works, and in particular, the math of crochet circles. Like I say, this is a great pattern for experienced people and, beginners. It's just a great pattern to practice your flat circles with, practice your single crochet, and have something that's certainly very, very giftable. So let's see, make sure I did not lose track while I was trying to do my chatting here. Again, Love having that stitch marker right where we need it. So we've got 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yep, we have done it just right. And now you guys have an idea of how I actually do my counting, even as I'm designing things. That's how I think of it in my head. 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. That is just how the flat circle pattern grows. Very easy to memorize. Once you see the logic of it, it really does just kind of make sense. So we should finish this off here with our last repeat, which we've now done. 2, 1, 1, 1, just like that, or 2, 1, 2, 3, however you like to say it. So that takes us up through round 5. We now have 30 stitches in our round, and you can see it is a pretty good size. But we've got one more round that I think is probably big enough to let us get a champagne bottle in there. But unfortunately, I did not have one in the house to check with. It's the season, I really should, but alas, I didn't have any last night. So I'll have to get some champagne and try it out because I really do think this one might fit with this one more round of increases here. So we just finished round 5. Remember, round 5 was 2, 1, 1, 1. Round 6 is going to be 2, 1, 1, 1, 1. So 4 stitches in between those increases. And of course, then if you want to keep going, you'd put 5, then 6, then 7. You just keep adding the number of single stitches, if you will, in between the increases. So let's go ahead and make round 6 together with 2 single crochets in that very first stitch. Want to make sure, again, to move that stitch marker up there. You can see it just sort of spirals around. So you can still count your rows, but I always recommend you kind of do that away from the stitch marker. So you can see sort of without the interference of what round are we on over here? Go to the opposite side of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We know we've made 5. We're on round 6 as we begin this one. So that's just a little tip for working in the spiral there. Head away from that first one to count up your rows. So there's 1. We need to put a second one in that one. And then we need our single crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And with that, I need to pull up some more yarn already. This pattern, as I said, uses about 100 yards of yarn. So that is just under half a skein of Bernat Blanket. So you can definitely get 2 out of the skein that has 220 yards. But you can definitely embellish it from there. This is kind of a really simple pattern in the end. It doesn't, it's just single crochet. There's not a lot of special stitch patterns or anything like that. But that gives us a really wonderful blank canvas. When you go into your local Michael's this time of year, there are so many fun embellishments and different things that you can find to add to your crochet projects. Lights and buttons and baubles and all kinds of just all those really fun things that I don't know about you, but I always see those in the aisles and I say, okay, that's really cute, but what on earth am I going to do with it? You make one of these bags and you add them, you decorate it, you make it personalized, you add those appliques or those iron-on letters or, whatever floats your boat, add some beading if you want to. You can have a lot of fun with this pattern. You can just work it up as written and then add all of those special touches that you want to add to yours. So if you guys have some ideas for this bag, different ways you want to use it,
Hey everyone. Seems that Tamara's having a bit of a technical glitch. So we will hopefully be right back. Just gonna give her a minute.
It looks like she left. She'll probably come back in.
Yep, she'll be right back in, everybody. Sorry about that.
I have to re-unmute. Am I back?
You're back.
Yes.
Okay, I apologize, everybody. I have no clue what happened there. Our household internet connection just decided to drop for a moment. The adventures of live TV, right? So here we are.
Exactly.
We're
I
back
think
live.
you need to reconnect.
Yep, I was just
your
thinking
hand.
of that. I need to reconnect my phone. It says it's working on it. So we'll give that a minute here. I'm going to put that down while that tries to reconnect. But that's probably better too. There we go. All right. So I am going to try and see what I can get up on my computer here because mine's being a little funky as well while the hand camera attempts to reconnect. I think it's starting to go through, but this is where we're at so far. Right there. We are working currently on round 6. I did not keep working. I realized pretty quickly that we'd lost our connection, but let me see if I can get my hand camera back up here. It seems to think it is connected. So do you guys have it on your end? Yes. Okay. We are officially up and running, it looks like. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just. Sorry about that, guys. I did not anticipate losing the internet connection halfway through the class there. That had never happened before, but good old internet service. We all know how that goes. All right. Okay. I think we are facing the right way around.
Looks like we're good.
Excellent. All righty.
Fantastic.
Okay. So my apologies again. Let's continue on here with round 6. We are going to make that repeat again. I had just finished one of them. So we start with 2 single crochets in that next stitch, and then a single crochet in each of the next 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then looks like we've got room for just one last repeat here. So 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then a single crochet in each of the remaining stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. There we've got it. All right. So now we have finished. We made it through round 6. After this, rounds 7 through 26 are all the same. So let's go ahead and make a few of those together here. I don't think we're going to make all 26, but we'll get a few of them made here. We're going to start again with a single crochet in that first stitch. And we place our stitch marker up into that new first stitch. And then we simply single crochet in each and every stitch around. So this part of the pattern is wonderful if you're catching up on your holiday movies, multitasking, hanging out with family and friends. This is a wonderful pattern, especially once you get to this stage, because it is just single crocheting in each stitch around. Just keep moving up that stitch marker every time you get to the stitch marker again, and you can just stop every 10 minutes or so and count your rounds. And before you know it, you really will have gotten through 26 of these rounds. I went to work on it last night while watching a movie with my family. And by the time we'd finished picking out the movie, I was pretty much through round 26. So that's just how quickly it can work up for you. So you can see right now, mine really wants to bowl up towards me. I think that's just a function maybe of how I hold my crochet in my hands, just the way it works. But we're going to want to eventually turn it back right side out. We want that tail end to be on the inside. Now you'll notice it does still have a little bit of a bowl shape, and that's normal, especially with this stuff. It's fine. When you put this down and put your bottle of whatever it is in there, that's going to hold it down flat. That's going to just straighten that right out. So don't worry too much about not having a perfectly flat bottom for this one. Like I say, once you put things in there, that will stand up just fine. But otherwise, we just continue single crocheting in each stitch around. So unfortunately, when I lost my connection there, the chat count restarted. So I'm not sure if there were any questions I needed to answer or not. Can you help me out, Allie?
No questions right now.
Okay. Very cool. So yeah, I think, like I say, I think this one would be a lot of fun for buttons. You could definitely pre-string some really fun pony beads on here. They would need to be a little bit of a bigger bead to fit around the yarn, but so many fun things you could do. Surface crochet would be another excellent embellishment method for this. You could do, draw whatever you want with surface crochet techniques, or even embroidering on crochet. Just use a similarly sized yarn, even the same yarn, and you'll be able to make some really beautiful big stitches on there. So we've already gone around once, and basically this is it until we get to the last two rounds of the carrier. We are just working single crochets in each stitch around. There we go. That stitch marker didn't want to close for me there for a second. But otherwise, yeah, single crochets in each stitch around. If you want to play with the stitch pattern a little bit here in the even rounds, you absolutely could. If there's a really nice solid stitch pattern that you love, you could throw that in there. It's going to need to use a multiple of 36 stitches. So that's a pretty easy number to work with. But you can definitely have some fun there and personalize it if you like. So let's see. Oh, I love this idea. Judy Newman just had a great idea. She popped in the chat. Do the last few rounds in Bernat Pipsqueak and it would look like snow. I think that would be so fun. That is such a great idea, Judy. Thank you.
Judy, I just gasped. That's a really adorable idea.
Absolutely. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, mix and match, throw another texture in there. My gosh, the possibilities really are endless. And because it is just rounds of single crochet, if you throw a different stitch in there and it changes the height a little bit, just keep working to the height of that bottle or whatever it is you're trying to cover. You'll be fine. I'll pull up some more of my yarn here. But otherwise, we just keep single crocheting all the way around. I'm going to check my time here. We are doing amazingly on time, so I don't want to jump to the last two rounds yet. So if you guys have any questions about this project or about crochet gift ideas for the holidays, Yarn Inspirations is full of amazing patterns. I know they just came out with the best of blankets, and there's, I believe, a baby pattern roundup happening right now on the front page. So tons of inspiration. Go to Michael's, pick up the yarn, go to Yarn Inspirations, get the pattern. Lots of really wonderful patterns, both for beginners like this one, and of course, more advanced patterns as well. So we've come around again. Just keep moving that stitch marker right on up. And you can see now it really is starting to sort of form that more of that shape, right? It's kind of to come up on the sides. There we go. Now someone asked, I accidentally ended up with 40 stitches, so I inadvertently increased. Yes, you've got somewhere in there, you ended up with a couple extra increases. But if you like this size and it's still making a nice circle, you're fine. Go ahead and just start crocheting even. Work one stitch in each stitch. Your bag will be a little bit bigger than mine by about 4 inches. So that's only that much, barely anything once you turn it into a bag. So I think you should be fine. You might need to adjust the stitches, the number of stitches for the handle that we'll be making a little bit, but that should be easy peasy. So just keep single crocheting in each stitch around. And as I say, you'd want to, if you are making it to hold a wine bottle or other bottle, you'd want to keep making it the full height. But if you've decided to use it as a bag for something else, then you can stop and go to the next rounds, if you will, for the handle whenever you are ready. If you wanted to make this, I was actually thinking as I was making this last night that I wanted to make a bunch of these for some of my plants, because I have some plants that I think would look really cute actually hung on a hook on the wall. And I was thinking if I just made them a little bit shorter, that would be a really fun pattern. So I'll keep going around here for a little bit longer, and then we will get to those last two rounds. So let's see. We have a question. Do you remember that was the teacher? Do you have to do the math? Not quite sure what you mean by that question. I'm sorry. If you give us a little bit more info, I would love to be able to answer that. Let's see. So this one, oh yeah. Sometimes I've taught classes where there is math involved. This one, no math. There's the formula for making the flat circle. It's all included in the pattern, but you don't have to do any mathing for this one unless you want to change the pattern. And then you just kind of continue in pattern. Like I say, you could stop increasing and just work even if you decide you want something that's a little narrower. You don't have to increase all the way through the 6th round. You can just go straight to round 7, so to speak. But if you wanted a bigger basket, if you wanted to gift maybe, I don't know, some Irish cream or something that comes in a really oversized bottle, then you might need to add a couple more rounds of increases. It's not so much math as it's just continuing to work in pattern. You'll remember for round, let's see, for round 6, we had an increase and then 4 single crochets, if you will. For the next round, if you did a round 7 where you were still increasing, it would be an increase followed by 5 single crochets. Then the next round would be an increase followed by 6 single crochets. You just keep adding 1 stitch in between the increases, and you'll keep making that sort of that circle at the bottom. So that is really the only math for this one. Like I say, if you have a different number of stitches at the end here, when we come to the handle, I can show you, we can absolutely work that out. That's not going to be a problem at all. Were there any other questions I could answer? It's kind of hard to, I can't really crochet and look at the screen all at the same time, so.
Let me see. Tina says that a cross stitch heart is very easy to do on spiral single crochet stitches, which is such a cute idea.
I love that. I love that. Grab some in white or whatever contrasting color. You could do a heart. You could probably find some patterns for snowflakes, any little cross stitch pattern out there. I'm sure there's plenty of them, possibly also on Yarn Inspiration, since they have embroidery floss. That would be a great resource for that. But of course, and that's the great thing, you don't have to use embroidery floss to do the cross stitch. I would just use a contrasting color of Bernat Blanket to make sure that those stitches really pop, because I think embroidery floss is probably going to get lost in among this great fuzzy yarn here. So I saw a question pop up. How would I adapt this to use a bulky yarn? Because this, or I should say a 5, this is a super bulky. So a bulky yarn is going to be a little bit smaller. If you, and Bernat Velvet is specifically what they were asking about, which genuinely would be lovely in this pattern. I think that would be really pretty. To make it the exact same size, I might add another round of increases. And you might also want to go down a hook size. Try it out with a J and see if you like that fabric. And then you can just keep increasing until, as it says in the pattern, our increases take it to about 6 inches in diameter. So about 6 inches across. So you can keep making those increases sort of in pattern until you've got the width you want, and then just go straight to working even. The big thing I will say about velvet is that you do want to make sure that you adjust the hook size to create a really nice, solid, firm fabric. You don't want to have really loose stitches with velvet. It really wants to be something a little bit tighter. So just as with this super bulky, we're using a K hook, which is significantly smaller than it usually calls for. With the velvet, I would probably go down a hook size or 2 as well. But other than that, you can definitely keep going. So then, again, we came to that first round or that first stitch. We just keep on moving it up. You can see just how quickly this one is coming together. Just checking the time again here. I want to make sure I don't keep doing this too long and not be able to get to our last couple rounds. But it really does work up pretty darn quickly. Were there any other questions?
Let me see. I don't see any right now.
Okay, great. I think I did see somebody pop in with an idea to put some spices or something in here. I think that'd be a really cool gift. That's actually something we did for my daughter last year. She was kind of establishing her own house for the first time. And, you know, you don't think about it, but that's one of those things you just collect over time is all those spices, right? You know, nobody moves out from home with 30 jars of, you know, thyme and parsley and everything else. So we really had to kind of get her started on those. And yeah, I think if you filled up something like that, like this with a bunch of those, and they'd have a really great basket, they could stick in their kitchen. You could absolutely hang this on a hook in your kitchen and fill it with things like spatulas, wooden spoons, if you're short on space, hang it from a hook in the fridge. The possibilities really are endless with this one. because of that great handle, you could, like I say, hang it on a hook or use it as a handle, whatever you need for your home or however you want to gift it. So just going to continue on around here. I can feel the stitch marker coming back up. But this is basically just how simple it is, which is why I say if you really wanted to embellish it, you absolutely could. If you like the simple look, that's great. If you want to do some color blocking with other colors, you can definitely do whatever you like to do. But other than that, we just keep going. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this again, because we have been working in a spiral. We've got that first stitch marked. I've actually worked into it. So I'm going to pull that one back out so I don't lose my place on this guy. Pull that loop up a little higher. But when we want to count our stitches, this is why I say we want to move away from that stitch marker and sort of come to the other side, because it's going to give us a better representation of how many rounds we've actually worked. So we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We already made it through 11 rounds. We've got a good idea of the width, and we just keep crocheting through round 26, which takes us to here, the magic of TV. So here's the one I was working on last night. I actually had to stop myself at round 26 because we were just about ready to watch the movie, and then I was really ready to settle in with it. But I wanted to save those last few rounds to work with you guys today. So you can see, very simple. If your gauge is slightly off, don't worry too much about it. It's a bag. It's got plenty of room for what you want it to hold. But if you want to adjust the size of it, hopefully now you've got a good idea of how to do that. So I'm going to take a sip of my water here. And with that, hopefully I pulled enough yarn off that skein to finish up these last 2 rounds. If not, I might have to rejoin. But that happens. That happens in life, right? Especially when you're doing a little bit of stash diving, you're going to eventually make something and run out of yarn with 2 rounds left to go. Switching to something like Bernat Pipsqueak, or something with another texture, or even just another color for some color blocking would be an excellent solution. So if we get there, maybe we'll end up finishing it off in the deep teal. We'll see. All right, so here we have our Bernat crochet beverage bag worked all the way through round 26. So the next round is just labeled next round, and this one starts a little differently. We're going to start with a chain of 8, and this is going to make the loop for our handle. So here you get to make a choice. Our instructions say to do a chain of 8, but you can chain however many you want. If you want a shorter handle, I would go ahead and just chain 6. If you wanted a longer handle, you can chain however many you like. I'm going to go ahead and follow the pattern and start with my chain of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Where did my yarn wander off to? Oh, that's because this one's not attached to the skein. Okay, getting myself confused there. All right, let's make sure we've got those all made, and we want to try and keep this chain really straight as well. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So make sure if you did have to pull your hook out like I did, we want to straighten that right back out so it's nice and smooth. And then we are going to skip the first 6 single crochets. So we can start counting that. Let me pull that a little closer here with that first marked one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All those are going to get skipped. We'll single crochet right in that next one. So I'm just going to get my hook right in there so I don't twist my chain, but I can take a look at that and just make sure, yep, that's still nice and straight. And single crochet right in that next chain. So that right there, we're going to work another round around, but that right there is the size of your handle. You can see it's about big enough to get sort of 4 fingers in, which is fantastic for gifting and carrying your gift bag around. But like I say, if you want to hang it up on a hook or something, you might want to make that longer or shorter. If you're still skipping 6, I would definitely chain at least 6. You don't want to make it smaller and pull in on your bag. So however many you decide to skip, if you decide to skip a different number, you'll want to chain at least that many. And then you can chain extra if you want a handle that sticks up like the original. So after we've skipped our 6, chain 8, skip 6, then we simply single crochet in each of the remaining stitches. So if you are someone who increased a little more or a little extra and ended up with 40 stitches or maybe even more or less, again, that's easy enough to fix. We don't even really have to do math. Just decide how big you want your handle to be, and then just single crochet in each of the remaining stitches around. So now, because I skipped 6, I would have a total of 30 stitches, but again, that's just because I made it in the recommended size. If you change the size, it'll be however many are needed to get you back to where you started chaining. So I'm just going to continue working my single crochets around here. Let's see, there's that one. Keep working our way around until we get to that final round here. And our final round is really just going to sort of add a little bit more height, and it's also going to firm up our handle a bit as well. So I should be most of the way around. Look, a little bit more of my yarn here. I've got it on this other side of me now, so I'm used to pulling my yarn from my left. I'm very right-handed, so I tend to always have my yarn on my left, just the way I've gotten used to it. Having it pulling from the other side was throwing me off a little bit. All right, so this is a little tricky, right? And this is why we do have stitch counts, but essentially what we want to make sure we do is we want to come back around. We can see I left that stitch marker in there for the first stitch of the round before, or well, it would be the previous round, because as we come back around, we're still making the round that started with the chains. So we do want to make sure to single crochet in that very last stitch before the chains there. There we go. That brings us right back to the chains. This is going to be our final round. So if you want to, at this point, we can finally get rid of that stitch marker. We are all done with our stitch marker for this pattern. So now what we need to do to finish it up, our very last round, is to single crochet in each of those 8 chains we made. So we just want to take our time, and this is a single crochet in the chains, not around the chains. So we want to put a single crochet in each one of those chains. Now, if you choose to single crochet around the chain instead, I won't tell. But if you do that, you may need to add a couple of extra stitches. When we work into the chain space like that, rather than putting our stitches in the chains themselves, for just physics reasons, I guess, you need to end up squeezing a couple extra in there. So if that's a choice you want to make, if you really don't like working back into the chain and you want to avoid it, you can work into that chain space, basically right around the chain itself, but you will probably have to add, I would guess, probably 2 to 4 more stitches. That should really cover it. We just want to make sure, though, that we get a nice solid bit of handle right here. That's really what kind of we're looking for in that. So however you like to do it, again, mix it up, make it your own. That is really the joy of these projects. So let me just count my stitches and see where I'm at, because when we get to the end of those chains, it can be a little tricky. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that means we've got one more chain. See if I can bring that a little closer so we can see there, one more chain before we end up crocheting back into our fabric. So I'll work right there. I've worked a single crochet into each of those chains, brings us right back to our single crochet stitches from before. And now we just single crochet in each of those remaining stitches all the way around. So because we chained 2 more than we skipped, that's why if you're looking at the written pattern, the stitch count went up by 2. So we didn't really increase the way we'd been increasing. It's that we chained 2 more than we skipped. So that ended up adding 2 stitches for this round. So now, as we work our way around, since it's our last round, we will have a join at the end of this round. Now, when you're working in a spiral, when you're working with stitches with any sort of height, single crochet, but even taller, half double crochet, whatever it can be, all of these can be worked in a spiral. But when you come down around for that very last round, you have to sort of shrink your stitches. So if I were making this bag in, for example, double crochet stitches, then as I come back around to finish off this last round, I would first go down to a half double crochet, then a single crochet, and then eventually end with a slip stitch. This pattern, where we're already working in single crochets, so we're just going to have a slip stitch at the end. But what this does is it brings down the height of those stitches so that we don't have that jog anymore from working in the spiral. We just sort of bring that down. We've managed to avoid, using the chain 1 and join the whole time, but it just means in the end, we need to shrink the height of those stitches to come down and meet our fabric. So for now, I'm just single crocheting each stitch around. I think I'm going to have enough yarn. I hope. I think I pulled off enough of that skein before we started the other bag. More proof that yes, there's definitely enough yarn to make 2 of these from one skein. And now we are almost all the way around. I can see my little handle right there coming back up. So now we are 2 single crochet in each of those stitches. I've got 1 more right there. That is the first stitch that I worked into the chains for the handle. So that is where we are going to slip stitch. And you can see just like that, it brought that height right back down because we were already using a pretty short stitch. So we just have to slip stitch to make that work. So then it says to join, or rather we've already joined, so to fasten off. But I want to show you a quick tip for fastening this off that will give you an even more seamless look. Now I've done my slip stitch right there, but I am going to go ahead and cut my yarn. And for this yarn, of course, we need a little bit larger yarn needle. Pick out one with a large eye here. Want to make sure you get a yarn needle with a larger eye when you're using the Super Jumbo's yarns. And then rather than just pulling this yarn through this loop to secure it, which would be the standard way to finish off, I'm actually going to just pull up on that loop. So I've made my slip stitch and I just pulled the yarn straight up out of the stitch itself. And now I'm done with my hook. So I'm going to set that aside. And just like I was going to weave in my ends, I'll go ahead and put my yarn end on my needle here. And then if we can get this really close and good focused here, you can see this is right here is the stitch that I slip stitched to. I'm going to take my yarn needle and just go right under the top 2 loops of the next stitch. So that would actually be the second stitch of the handle. Just like that. And then send it right back down into the center of the stitch it came out of. So it came out of that stitch under the top 2 loops of that stitch. And now I'm going to send it right back down into the center there. And what this will do, if I pull it through and I adjust it, you can see from the top, this looks just like another stitch. I think I might have put a hair in it, but other than that, it looks exactly like all the rest of the stitches. So that's just going to continue that really gradual decrease there. And then of course, we can weave in our ends. Weaving in your end with Bernat Blanket is really nice because it is a fuzzy yarn. We can't split the yarn. Sometimes when we weave in our ends, it's good to try and split the yarn. We can't do that with this yarn because it has a solid core that we can't split. But you can see how I'm having to use a little bit of strength there to pull it back through. This fuzzy yarn will really help keep your ends woven in. Even so, I really like to go a couple different directions. And of course, I try and do it from the inside of the bag here. But I will just go back and forth. I always recommend, even with the fuzzy yarns, even if you're using, a really sticky wool, you want to go one direction and then make sure you come back at least once in the opposite direction. It doesn't have to be in that row. It can be in a different row. But we just want to make sure our ends don't come out, especially if you're gifting this to someone who isn't a knitter or a crocheter. Once you're done weaving in your ends, I'm going to just fold this over here so it's a little easier to see. For this yarn in particular, what I like to do, let me get that good and centered here. I'm going to pull up on that, give that a tension, a little bit more pulling from here than I normally would. Cut it. And then give my fabric a pull, and that end just should disappear right down in there. If it didn't, I probably just didn't cut enough off. So then we are all done. Now, on my original, did I weave in my first end? No. But if you didn't, like me, you can just turn the whole thing wrong side out if you need to get to that original end in there. But otherwise, that is how to make the Bernat crochet beverage bag. You can see, I love the way they styled it in the photo. They put sort of a little fold in the front here opposite the handle, which I think gives it a really cute look, and would also be really cute, especially, like we talked about hanging up utensils or other things like that around the house. You've got, it's trying to hide from me there. We've got this handle, this loop. You can hang it. You can use it to carry your wine bottle or whatever you choose to put in there. And you can see just how big it is. Like I say, I'm pretty sure this might fit a champagne bottle But unfortunately, poor me, I did not have one. They sent me yarn, but they didn't send me a champagne bottle, Allie.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, wow. But yeah, that is it. I know we are a little bit early, but not too early. But yeah, that's all there is to it. This is a great bag. I think it's a lovely design. And look at all this field of stitches you can personalize, add all those special touches to. Definitely make it your own.
Amazing.
All right. So I guess with that, we can probably come back to the other camera. And yeah, there is our bag. So I just wanted to
Perfect.
thank you guys so much for joining me. And Allie, I'll turn it back over to you.
Amazing. Well, thank you all for joining us at another Michael's Community Classroom. We have one more class on Thursday for this year, and we hope to see you again at this last class of the year, and hope to see you again next year when we're back for more classes.
Absolutely.
And thank you all so much for joining us this evening.
All right. Well, happy holidays, everybody. Have a great night.